Okay, I'm Loz Guest. It's good to have you listening tonight. And by the good grace of satellite technology and leads and wires and things like that, we should be talking to M. Shadows, frontman of Avenged Sevenfold, who I believe is in the States somewhere. Where are you, mate?
I'm actually in Orange County, California, so we're at home.
Lovely. I gather someone has told me you've been fishing for a few days. Is that right?
Yeah, all last week I was fishing.
Man.
Getting it out of my system before the onslaught of touring.
Yes. Is this a new pastime for you, or have you always been into it?
No, I've been fishing since I was 4.
Okay, so you've been brought up on it.
Brought up on it, yep. I had to go, I took my grandpa out and my dad and a couple friends and had to go out there and show them all who the best fisherman was.
And clearly that was you.
Yeah, I caught the biggest fish, so I have bragging rights till we go again.
I bet you do. What kind of fishing is this? You know, I'm not a really big fisherman myself, so...
Well, we were fishing for steelhead and trout in a river. It's kind of like fly fishing, but, you know, different sorts of baits, and we went out and I actually hooked a salmon. So I caught an 18-pound salmon, and that was the biggest fish of the trip. So I got my picture of it with it and let it go. And now I've got it all over my phone, and I send pictures to them every day, reminding them of who caught the biggest fish.
Look at the size of this thing. Is that the biggest fish you've caught, that salmon?
In a river, yeah. It's a very small river, so it's kind of amazing that a fish that big can live in there. But I've been ocean fishing as well and caught lots of big stuff.
Well, you see, you got the weather for it. Over here in the UK, I can't really understand it because it's always raining, it's miserable. But I can understand how for you it might be quite a nice pastime.
Yeah, it was nice. You know, you go on a little boat, you get your family out there, it's 90 degrees, and it's a good time.
You're selling it to me, I'll be honest. This sounds like a good time.
It is. There's nothing like it. Unless you don't catch anything, then it's boring as hell.
Are the rest of the band into it? Do they have similar hobbies, or do they just let you get on with the fishing?
No, everyone has their own little things, you know. Like Gates, he does a lot of surfing and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. I'm more into basketball and fishing and golf and stuff like that. Everyone's got their own little things that they do in their own time.
So Gates is well, he's like the bouncer for the band by the sound of it. If he's doing jiu-jitsu.
I know, it's funny. He doesn't ever put it into effect, but if he wanted to, he could probably break someone's arm.
Well, that's
pretty
it.
Cool.
I think it's Jean-Jacques Burnel, the bass player for the Stranglers. He is like 8th or 9th Dan, some kind of ninja.
Yeah, that's very cool. You know, it's always the quiet guys. Gates is pretty quiet.
He's like one of the hardest men on the planet, apparently. But you can imagine back in the old punk days, that might have come in quite useful for him.
Oh, totally. Could you imagine that? Walking into a bar, getting a little scruffle, and this guy breaks your arm.
That's it. I gather you got married fairly recently as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got married in October.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How's it treating you? Because I'm getting married in December, you see, so I'm trying to get all kinds of hints and tips.
It's very good. You know, I think it's better than... I've been with her for years and years and years, and when we got married, you know, it makes them really happy, and it just solidifies the relationship, and I think it'll be good for you. You'll have a good time with it.
Well, this is what I'm being told. You see, loads of people have been telling me it'll be the best thing I ever do, because I feel like I'm marrying my best friend, which, you know, to me seems like the right thing to do.
That's the only thing you need to do. I mean, if you marry someone off of anything other than being your best friend, I think it's probably doomed for failure. But if you marry, you know, your best friend, I mean, I've been best friends with my wife for a long time, 14 years. So we've only been married, what, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. But we've been together like pretty much our whole lives. So we know it's going to work, you know, and then we know everything about each other.
So M. Shadows and myself, Loz, we're off the market. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, I heard the new records last week. It's blinding, and I have to put this into some kind of perspective because it was in slightly strange circumstances as the plugger turned up to the station here in Birmingham with the record. She drove up. I saw her turn up in a car, and then she was surrounded by police cars. There was a police chopper overhead, and I thought, you know, blimey, this is a fairly extreme way to make sure it doesn't get leaked.
Are you kidding me?
No. But it turned out it was a bomb threat.
Okay.
It was a bomb threat next door.
I was going to say, that's just ridiculous if that was... Okay, I got you.
But you can see what I thought. I was like, this is incredible. I know they're trying to keep a lid on it, but, you know, this is some lengths to go to.
That would have been pretty awesome, actually.
But anyway, so it was this bomb scare next door. So we were evacuated out the building, but I had to listen to this record because I knew I was talking to you. So we went and sat in her car, and we listened to the whole thing in her car, surrounded by police, just amid this general kind of chaos. And it provided a brilliant kind of soundtrack to everything that was going on.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I totally feel for you guys that have to kind of, hear a record once and kind of get a vibe on it. It's hard to do that, and most things that I listen to, it takes me so long to get into them. But I hope you liked it.
No, I did. I definitely got the vibe off it. And tomorrow night, you're coming back on the show, and we're doing an album special, and you'll be walking me, or perhaps I'll be walking you through some of the tracks from it, if that's all right with you.
Perfect.
Fantastic. All right, well, we'll catch up tomorrow night then.
Sounds good.
There he goes, Mr. M. Shadows. What do I call him tomorrow night? I forgot to ask. Do I go in with a Matt? What does he feel comfortable with? Mr. Shadows? Shads? Shadizzle? I just don't know. We shall see when we reconvene tomorrow night from 9 o'clock for the Kerrang Radio Avenged Sevenfold World Exclusive Album Special. You lot are going to get to hear these tracks before 99.9% of the world. That is how special you lot are. This is what Kerrang Radio can do for you on a daily basis, with a gift that keeps on giving, a bit like herpes, but without the itch. So yeah, tomorrow night from 9 o'clock here on Kerrang, and here is, the title track from that record, Nightmare.